Hello again, we're back.
Hello again, we are back.
Talking guitars.
Indeed.
That seemed a bit of a rehearsed intro, but hey.
No.
It's been a while, hasn't it, since we got together the last. It's been a bit hot, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a little bit warm, yes.
Yeah, and you've been on holiday?
Yes, been on holiday, hence suntan.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Excellent. And we went to a pretty good gig as well the other night, didn't we?
Yes, more than pretty good. It was great. Who did we go and see, Graham?
Well, we went to see Sammy Hagar.
And?
Joe Satriani.
And?
Michael Anthony.
And?
Kenny Aronoff.
And can you remember the name of the keyboard player?
No, but he was damn fine.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good. But no, what really impressed me, I think, was just the sound, because it was a new venue. For those that don't know, it was there's a new venue opened in Olympia called the British Airways Arc venue, and it was kind of amazing sound wasn't it? It was just like really, it wasn't a huge venue, but it was just, they really got the acoustics right in there.
So it's what was the Olympia then?
Yeah, but they did all that stuff upstairs, didn't they? When they kind of opened up the top and put the bars and stuff and that kind of thing. So completely transformed. For anyone that knows Olympia of old, it was a pretty kind of, I suppose, a bit of a rabbit warren of exhibition centre kind of thing. But it was, it was really, really good. And the sound, like Joe Satriani's tone was just phenomenal, wasn't it?
It was just awesome.
Talk about somebody that is just a master.
Yeah.
I've been a fan since the 90s and really fancied, seeing him anyway, but obviously went to see Sammy Hagar as well and Michael Anthony, because I've never seen Van Halen, and they were obviously doing all that good Van Halen stuff, but also the Montrose stuff.
Yeah.
Joe did his Satch Boogie, which was good.
Yeah, that was great. One of the things that struck me about Joe Satriani, I saw him about 15 years ago.
Okay.
And the thing that struck me then, and last week when we saw him, was that his feel and his tone and his execution is just like listening to the record. There aren't many guitarists that I've seen where, they're live playing, like effortlessly pulling off all those, harmonics and things like that, gets them every single time. And it was, just like listening to his studio recording, but in a cool way, of course.
Yeah, but I think as well, what impressed me was just the clarity of his guitar tone. His guitar sounded massive, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it was really huge. And I just think Joe's one of those players that his tones evolved. They still using, or always used Ibanez guitars. He was using those, are they 3D amps or something?
Yeah, he had three of them on stage, so I presume he had like a wet, dry, wet rig, which is what gave him that massive stereo sound, of course.
It just sounded incredible.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah, it was good.
Really, really good.
Yeah, it was great to see all of the Van Halen songs played, and Montrose as well, and Joe Satriani's solo stuff. It was cool to be able to see all of that. Never having seen Van Halen back in the day, that was about as close as I will ever get to seeing Van Halen, and it was great, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, really good, really good. And I suppose that kind of, talking about that gig's a nice segue into what we want to talk about tonight, is different types of guitars, but also using different tones for different stuff. And Joe, obviously, whilst it was still very much Joe put his touch on it, he was, in the right way, in my opinion, going after that kind of Eddie tone as well, kind of thing for the Van Halen stuff. So that he was getting the right kind of sounds on stuff like Ain't Talking About Love and
yeah, absolutely. It's quite a bright plexi sound, and he's never really kind of fully stepped away from the Strat sound. Whilst he's playing an Ibanez with fairly hot pickups in it, it's still got all of that kind of stratiness to it, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded open, it sounded amazing.
Yeah.
It sounded good. But.
Right, so, Graham, do you want to start us off on this week's topic?
Well, we talk about different types of guitars, different pickups when you and I use different pickups and stuff, and different guitars and different pickups. So tonight I've got this is my Les Paul double cut. It's one of the custom shop ones in the Cobra Burst. I fancy getting this because it's something a little bit different because I've got like Sunburst guitars.
Yeah.
And I just thought, yeah, go for this. But this is great. It's got Alnico 3, the Gibson, I think the custom buckers, aren't they? With and they're unpotted, so it's a really good open sound. Got that 1960 neck, not super bladed, but it's comfortable.
Hugely thin, is it?
No,
neck? It's comfortable.
No, I mean I've played guitars from 60 and 61 that have got really thin necks, but this is just a nice kind of comfortable 60s neck. But really really pleased with it.
The Silver Burst looks really cool as well. The tiger top, the detail on that is
it's good top, isn't it?
Yeah,
it moves nicely and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And just going into my pedal board, which kind of won't go into too much detail on that, but got the usual kind of mix of drives and bits. On the jam we were just doing, I was using a 12-string pedal there for the rhythm stuff, just to give it a bit of a different sound. And then we're going into Victory, the copper amp that I've got down here, which we'll maybe post a picture in the vid, and maybe a picture of the boards as well. And you've gone for a different setup tonight.
Yeah, totally out of my comfort zone tonight. So I'm playing a Telecaster first of all. So it's a Bitzer telly that I built many years ago. It's an Alder body. No, I think it's Swamp Ash actually. It's a really fat neck on it, like a baseball bat neck.
Too big for me.
I kind of like that. The action is pretty high, so it's a difficult guitar to play, but I like that because it forces me to play differently. Pickups are Fender Custom Shop 54s. They're relatively hot, but still got a lot of that spiky telliness to them. It's a cool guitar. I really like it. I don't play it that often because it's really difficult to play, but sometimes I kind of like that. And amp-wise, I've gone for something totally different tonight. I've got a Mark II Kemper Power Rack profile. It's one of the new Mark II ones, and the remote down on the floor, which we'll put a picture of. I use this for playing at home, really, just for practicing at home when it's not practical to turn on a big valve amp. You know, even with an attenuator, and I've got a really good 2 notes Reload 2 attenuator. But sometimes, you know, the Kemper is cool for that. It's just nice and easy to use. Even though it's the Mark II, I still maintain that it doesn't have that thing that glowing glass tubes have. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure a lot of people use them all the time and really love them. I really like it, but for me, it's a bit like eating vegetarian chicken. Just have chicken. And that's my rig for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're a good kind of advocate of using the Kemper and using valve stuff as well. So, yeah, it's different amps for different applications, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, as you say, it's a good amp for kind of for using at home, but also when you're recording, you're going to you know what you're going to get with it, consistent sound and that kind of thing. So.
Well, it's great for recording, and it's super easy, you know, no messing around miking stuff up, etc. It is really easy just to plug that into an audio interface into your computer and get a really good studio quality sound. So there are things that it really excels at, in my opinion. But for me, I still prefer the sound of valves. And so that's our rigs this evening. So that neatly leads us on to our next topic, which is guitars.
Yeah. So you use different guitars when you go out gigging. You don't just take out one type of guitar. What do you tend to use, and when do you use it? For what kind of songs do you use?
Mainly Les Pauls, really, for stuff. I mean, I play in a 70s rock band, so I'm after good kind of earthy AC/DC type big plexi open tones, which for me a Les Paul kind of gets me to that place. I like to keep the gain off a little bit, because I find that you get the nice ringy chords if you keep the gain off. Up the volume as much as you can, of course. So a Les Paul mainly, but then we do other kind of Stratty type stuff, which Deep Purple, that kind of thing, which you'd pile on a little bit more gain to kind of, you know, drive the single coils a bit more and get a bit more sustain. But you know, you get that nice percussive attack with a Strat. So for me, in a 70s rock band, it's either a Les Paul for beefy or a Strat for percussive and spiky. What about you, Graham?
So my band, kind of the other guitar player, or the main lead guitar player, is he uses Les Pauls and Marshalls. So he's got an R9 and he runs it into either the Yngwie Malmsteen head,
cool.
which is, he sets it up basically like a Plexi.
Yeah.
But it's got a few more bells and whistles than the standard Plexi. Or he'll run into a vintage modern. But he's fairly consistent. He gets great tone. So when we put this band together and I said I wanted to do second guitar, I kind of tried to go after different kind of sounds really. So I tend to use my amps more as pedal platforms. So I'll either use a Fender Pro Reverb, which I've got down there, one of the 68 custom Pro Reverbs.
Yeah. Cool amp.
Or my Victory. I might take a Marshall like my vintage modern, but set it up fairly clean. And then I'll get my gain off my pedals when I need gain, but I'm using a lot of kind of different effects, like the 12 string that I was saying about earlier, my keyboard pedal, the Electro Harmonix one, which is kind of like so it's quite good just playing kind of chords and stuff really. But then I will use humbucker guitars because sometimes they're good for pushing or working well with the 12 string pedal, the keyboard pedal. But I try to use either a Strat or a Telecaster, or I've got into Gretsch's lately. So I've got my Gretsch here, which is obviously the Filtertrons and that are kind of different sounding, cool. And it's a hollow body guitar.
Looks awesome.
And then I've got my Casino here, which has got P90s on, so that's different. In the last video, I was using my SG P90s. So yeah, I'm a big advocate of P90s and single coils.
Yeah.
I think I like the sound of a Strat on the middle pickup for strumming and stuff. That's kind of like really good. But yeah, just like to try and kind of like try and get some different sounds, just so it's a bit of a contrast to the guitar player.
Absolutely. Cool, good approach.
Indeed. But yeah, so yeah, I suppose that's it really in terms of the guitar stuff. But I think, you know, some guitars do suit different styles better, but you can generally kind of utilise pedals, amps, or whatever to kind of get the right kind of sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
For different styles of music.
I think generally, no matter what guitar you play, ultimately you always end up sounding like you. I mean, it's, you know, your tone comes from how you pick, how you fret it, and your note choices, etc.
Well, and your ear kind of hears what you want.
Yes.
To hear tonally, doesn't it? So you kind of like, you try and dial in a similar sound kind of each time, kind of thing. So, you know, like you were saying with a single coil guitar, you might put a bit more tone on it. A bit more gain on it.
Yeah.
Just to get the tone right, kind of thing. So, yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Sounds good. So next time, I guess we'll maybe start delving into a bit more into pedals and stuff.
Yeah. I think, you know, there's a lot of things that we want to do talking about pedals. We'll bring along our favourite pedals, dirt pedals, delay pedals, reverb pedals, everything really, and we'll go through applications for each. And should be a lot of fun delving into those. But
just the usual plug, if you're kind of interested in what we're doing and want to see more, like and subscribe, and feel free to chuck things in the comments in terms of guitars or pedals or amps that you want us to kind of do a bit of a talk on. and that way, we can mix it up a bit and do different stuff.
Yeah, any ideas? Drop them in the comments below. But for now, we'll play out with a little bit of a jam.
Sounds good to me.